Okay.
We're not doing it.
We're live, not that one.
Okay, and now I'm gonna set it up. You in a second, in our discussion, and then we'll end our discussion. I'm gonna open it up. And go into the
Two-thirds. We are live now, guys. The meeting hasn't started, but just heads up. After it's already live. So that's just.
printer.
Got to me and then we might. I do something, that's one set and that's the
She didn't even hear you.
Mom? I'm just giving you one. That's it.
All right, it's 5:30. Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Before we start, I'd like to make a few comments, just general comments. From looking at the budgets, it appears that we may have been shaving some line items. Stay at 0% pop out the salaries, if that money in certain line items do not come back to the budget. Excuse me. Keep in mind that if you talk to your employees out there, they'll only get a 3% increase if available. The other statement I want to make is with checking the line items. Please don't come back to the budget committee for additional funding on any additional items like papers, supplies, just general things like that. Coffee maker goes down, just simple things like that. That was just something that I wanted to get on the record for this evening. And I don't mean it derogatory or anything like that. I just want to put that out there. Does anybody have anything to add? Okay. All right, first on the list, we have veteran services. May I get a motion to review?
Motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
Discussion. Well, you don't have to wait. Don't raise your hand to speak. You speak freely.
Okay. Clearly, this is all our first go around with budgets, so I would like somebody to walk us through these first couple ones so we kind of get going on this as far as what are we looking at, and have someone from Veteran Services explain why they're asking for what they're asking for, changes, increases, decreases.
Yeah, I submitted a letter with it, documenting all the numbers and everything.
And I haven't had a chance to look at this because we just got these last night, Tuesday night.
It's only one page,
Okay.
one paragraph actually.
You can do whatever.
Yeah.
Same one that,
I will say on the increase for this, it will be coming out of county general. While yes, part of the salary is reimbursed by state, this particular increase, it will be taken in full out of county general. It will not be reimbursed by the state. It's a part-time position, 24 hours a week. We get quarterly $1,400 back. That's $5,600 a year that we get back from the state on his salary. So this increase, though, that he's asking for will be county provided. Period.
I do want to add on his reimbursements, 900 of it is the actual reimbursement, and then 500 of it is what an incentive. And I have the paperwork downstairs and to bring it, but I mean, it does come to all of them together.
Yeah, so actually I was wrong, I was saying 4,000 for the year, so it's actually, as you stated, it was 600. So,
Do you have all current qualifications to
Yes.
justify the increase?
I have all the qualifications, and I'm probably one of the best qualified, because I have 25 years experience, which, you know, I teach other BSOs who have more time than me how to do this job. I've been doing this for a significant period of time. And, like I said, I have a 95% success rate, and these veterans who I'm helping are in this county, and when they get an increase, they're spending their money in this county. I have no complaints. In fact, I got a call today from just a veteran about 100%. They come in, you know, thankful for gratitude, because I know different avenues how to get them the percentage they need, which is, you know, very rare in this profession, because a lot of these ESOs who do this stuff, the number of people that come in, and they just kind of slow things down, I'm able to spend time with these guys and get them the right percentage, so they're very happy with the results. And when I took the initiative to ask all the other county BSOs what they were making compared to what I was making, it's very different. And actually, the average rate is $19. You know, surrounding counties, maybe Baxter, you know, all the other counties surrounding it. And, you know, I'm not saying we have to be nationwide will be significantly below. And really, I talk to BSOs across the county, across the United States. I have friends that work in California, they're making $100,000 doing this job. I have friends in Texas, they're making $70,000 doing this. Same thing under it. Same job. Nothing different, nothing more, that's just what they pay. So if you average it, you know, nationwide, we're way below even the standard of it. So I'm not even asking for it. I'm just asking you know, a few more than what I'm at right now. Just keep up with, you know, one person department again, so the only person I can encourage is myself, and that's very easy. And I did see from the past, because I got this one, I don't know if y'all have this paperwork, but in 2023, when the River was doing this job before, I'm not sure how many days they were working, their original budget in 2023 was $8,576. That was the salary. And in 2024, they had a raise of $4,575. And in 2025, so 2024 budget to 2025 budget, there was a raise in the salary almost $6,500 from 2024 to 2025. Okay, and they were looking 25 to 26, and I'm asking actually less than that, you know, $400,000 less than that. We gave the original budget in 2025.
I don't believe we had a BSO the whole time in 23. That's why that payout is so low. I do believe our previous BSO came in at some point in 23 to 24, if I'm not mistaken. So 23 is not reflecting a whole year of a BSO. I don't think we've ever paid that lowly for this.
Yeah, okay, so we can take out 23, but you just look at 24. In 2024, your VSO was being paid $13,151.
Per hour is also increased then too, from 2 days to 3 days.
And there was, the last VSO I was here, she was gonna do it, she was telling me that they wanted her to do it 5 days, which would, like I stated in my letter, would increase the budget even significantly more. You don't need to do this 5 days a week, it's a waste of money for the county, waste of money for the taxpayers, everything else. You could do, I could actually do this job in a couple of days, to be honest, but I leave it open 3 days because it's more convenient for vets to have that extra day available for them, so they can come and see me and have doctor's appointments that have extra going. It's not hard, it's just, I know this like the back of my hand, I've been doing this for so many years. So I can do this job in 2 days, so. As the previous one, they were going to increase hers to 5 days a week, which would have cost county significantly more money. I don't think the results would have been any different than they could get for 3 days a week. And getting them lower, you're getting at a lower rate, lower discount rate. That, as a letter I said, if you would have paid that, that would have been $13,000 increase with benefits. I don't need benefits, I don't need insurance, I don't need health care. It's like, if you, I'm going to do profession my job, and it's just working and building morale. And, you're doing a job, you don't want to be expecting the same thing. I want to do this job, I love helping vets and better myself, but again, I wouldn't do it for free unless, I do for free as elected official, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm actually going to the office and being there for some time, and, do my research and stuff like that. So, that's, as I explained in the letter, that's how I kind of broke, I'm a numbers guy, so that's how I broke it all down to numbers. It's all about numbers, and if you look at the amount I'm pushing back into these vets and getting the VA to pay them correctly, and following up, they're then putting that money back in the county and circulating again. So it's a very small percentage of what I'm asking for.
Is that 25% Cheyenne? Or
I got
27?
27.54% increase.
Typically, we look at a 3% increase. And I feel like that's a pretty big jump right off the bat.
In actually, a 3% increase is significant if you were making 50,000 or 100,000. That's a good raise. I mean, I come from retired law enforcement in Austin, Texas, so I understand 3% raise is just great when you're making $150,000. But when you're making $15 or less than $20,000, which is under poverty level, basically, it's not very much of a raise. It's like 30 cents. So that's the difference. That's why I put that number out there. I mean, you're looking for something more significant. You can break it in half, $2 raise or something like that. But 3% of 1568 is not a raise. It's more like how do you say? It's just, I have a hard time understanding how a 3% raise can be significant. I mean, for what I'm doing and what I'm providing, knowledge and skills, and plus, because I'm an educated person, I'm not somebody that just doesn't have a degree or have skills and background. Providing a service, providing a profession, I do this job and I do it right. That's the difference between them. You can hire somebody who can do it for that much. That's never. There's always that saying. You always get what you pay for. That's saying you're getting a professional to do a job where I went to somewhere else and they'll pay a significant more. Like I said, I'm not asking that you grant me the top up rate, but I would suggest that I'm asking that I would look at a better raise that just makes more sense than 30 or 40 cents. If I didn't have the credentials, I didn't have the knowledge, it was just, that's a yes, or the experience. It'd be different.
Any other discussion?
Yes. I'm on the personnel committee, and, was it, when did we talk about doing a pay grade scale? June, May, I don't remember what it was, several months ago. We talked about doing this, having it tiered to your qualifications, your certifications, all of that. Your pay would be based on that. At that time, we were told, and it was gonna be across the board, for like, because the whole county needs a raise. We all realize that, and know that y'all are severely underpaid for what you do. We were told at that time, there is not enough money, county can't afford to do it for everybody.
Right.
Okay? That is my goal for next year, is to work on that pay grade scale again. To try and get that, so we are more competitive, seeing where the budget's at. We have a special election coming up in November. We don't know what the result of that is going to be at this time. Even if it passes, it's not going to take effect till April.
Yeah.
We're not gonna know what funds are available. I don't think it's probably what, June, Cheyenne?
That's scheduled. Or
Probably June, we'll know like what, if this passes, if the special election in November passes, the funds don't actually get transferred till April. That's a stupid question, I'm sorry.
The funds wouldn't actually get transferred to
Not
April.
transferred's not the right word. Special election is in November,
It kicks
It
in
kicks
in
in in
April, there's
April.
a 2-month delay
Yeah.
usually by the
so it
time
would be
we
like
post
June-ish, we
everything,
would kind of
so,
know where we're
yes,
sitting
ma'am.
financially as far as that goes. Does that make sense?
Yes, no,
Okay,
I understand, yeah.
I'm not trying to, I don't want anybody to run off, I think you do a great job, so I mean, in my opinion, it means if you need to go down and only work 2 days a week, so you can make the same amount of money, and it's more money than what you're making now.
Like I said, I just opened the door up another day just to give an opportunity to be better. So
Yeah.
It's, you know, it gives them a more time frame to come in. Like I said, to be the performer, you complete this job, it doesn't take much. I mean, I have a lot of knowledge and skills, it doesn't mean that. I was a manager in the police department, I had 50 officers under me, so I understand this process, but, you know, this is very simple process for that, right?
Yeah.
And I can perform the job, it's not hard, because I know how to do it.
Right.
And it didn't take me even long to even learn just the computer, I've been very knowledgeable on how to do this. So, you know, and I was just looking for this, now, the basic thing that now is like I was telling everybody, you don't ask for 9.
Right,
Now, usually
exactly.
going into budgets, we go and we ask for 50% of our pay increase, and the city might come back and give us 27%, 28% that we ask for. You never go in saying I want 1 or 2%, especially based on, I'm looking at the big picture, the big picture is 1568. But as for 3%, and that's very small
it's
change for
a
us.
47-cent increase.
Yeah, 47 cents. But I, you know, like that, I understand how this county works. It's a little different than where I'm coming from, and how it's organized and like that. We respect that.
So do you need to get a decision on this like right now tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So is it either a yes or a no, or are we saying, if we say yes, it can be a different percentage, like, I don't know how this goes,
Yeah,
so I'm
so-
sorry, I'm asking big silly questions here.
If you don't agree on the percentage proposed, we can do you suggested 30%. And I'll go back and change these numbers, and then I'll give you a new sheet with the proposed numbers. But, if you agree with it, then we'll leave it be. Okay? And then we'll go from there. I can get you the new sheets by the next meeting. I can get you all by finalization, so it's all in one. It's up to you exactly how you would like that. But, definitely updated numbers will come to you. Thank you.
We're not trying to be difficult, we're just trying to be cautious with the unknown of all the factors coming, unusual factors.
So,
that
yeah,
we're gonna have to deal with.
I totally respect that. I'm not trying to say anything more. It's just like, you know, the only reason I do this is, I guess, because, you know, you have to always ask for most and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
And that's how you kind of look at things. at the big, at the bigger picture. But I totally understand, there's always counters, there's always this and that, and, that's just where negotiation goes. And I'm all about that. I don't expect anything more than just acknowledgement and, you stated, and I appreciate that.
That's my goal for this next year, is to work on that, especially once we know financially where we're at and where things are gonna be, if we, I would love to give everybody
Right. And
upgrade rates.
I know, I look at these other counties and stuff, and I was like, you just have to, sometimes I drive down to, your bigger cities, okay, if we could take one block of that city and bring it over here, and all that revenue would come in this area, it would be such a significant increase. I always hope for, I'm always about, progress.
Moving forward, growing, absolutely,
You have to grow, and you have to go backwards.
right, agree. Oh,
So a 3% would put him at $20,157.10 for salary.
so you said like,
20157.10 and 10 cents. Now overall, like, because of the way his hours go, we have to budget for papers, because he falls into that bracket now. So, with all the other compensation added, it'll bring it down roughly about $1,000 altogether. Due to workman's comp and retirement and such. But it did bring the overall salary down about $4,000.
is it possible to go to 2 days, do you think? Or do you want to stay 3 days?
No, I mean, 2
More
days,
options?
no,
I'm
yeah,
just
I think, we can get, that would be an option, because like I said, I'm retired. I do this, because I like doing that, and get me out of the house to do something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to be compensated for it. You want everyone to be compensated. I think that's just the general life we are. Yeah, I could do this in 2 days, and, just, if we keep the same pay and raise it for 2 days, that would be very complicated.
Do you work 8 hours here? 8
8-hour days.
I think it's worth like 4 or 3
No.
or 10 or what?
It's just 8-hour days, 2 8-hour days, 3 8-hour days that come in here and take care of it. It's just basically file the paperwork for the vets, understanding how they come. It's a lot of documents, a lot of reading documents. You have to be able to be proficient in reading these. You write like doctors, and I'm not saying I don't have any medical knowledge, but I understand how the verbiage is, how the VA writes stuff, and explaining to the vet how what they need to do to the next step. So it's doing the job. And like I said, I've been doing it for so long. I've helped. I was doing this for just fun at the point in my life in my career, because those of my officers that were disabled and get their and some what they need to do or how they proceed. And I thought this would be a very great opportunity. And I enjoy doing it, especially when I get the gratitude from the veterans. They come back and they call me and come out in the office and tell me, hey, I got thank you, and just ecstatic, which I totally get. And giving them the time to get there and then understanding, how it's going to benefit their lives and benefit the county too. So it's like a big turn. Me helping them, they help themselves. The VA helps them, and they return that money back to the county. Or else they would just be stuck doing with their with their income they were doing now. So everybody wins in this case. It's not like I'm just there sitting there, not providing service for everyone. So it just goes around.
So I will say, if he goes down to 8-hour days, or even stick with the 3, but make it 6-hour days, he will fall out of that papers category, so that will shave off like $9,000 off of the funding, because he won't qualify for the hours anymore on papers. So we'll save some money too. Not trying to lower your hours, I promise.
Well,
But
I know-
just from a budget standpoint, that would save about 9,000 because you'll fall off of papers.
24 hours ago.
I
22.
think it's 24 hours or above, I believe it, around.
Oh, police officers, 24. Yeah, 24.
It's 80 hours a month, isn't it? That's the way they do it.
Have to
I
confirm.
want to say it was 80 hours maybe on the HR side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the 8%, so that's not gonna give me anything more than, if I spend the 5 years at this rate, maybe a couple $100 a month, that's not gonna do anything more than.
Yeah, we still have to pay in on you, so.
Yeah, I know.
You know, just to back up what Justice Lee says, we appreciate everything you do, and I hope that you truly understand that, I've got friends that are ex-military, that served there 20 years. I've got friends that are police, retired police. We've met all these folks, you know, some of them I went to high school with, some of them I met when I was in the private sector doing military law enforcement and civilian sales. So I totally get and believe in what you're, you know, what you're trying to do for all of these folks. And is a good compromise to do 2 days a week at the same pay.
Yes,
And until we see what, because we've got a lot of variables, a lot of unknowns that through the next 6 months, I'm gonna say 6 months, some uncertainties. And then we can revisit it next next October.
Okay.
Would that?
No, I
you good with
think-
that?
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic because it gives me, it frees up me up for another day. I can, get some other stuff done and then it still gives me the opportunity to come here and work. But making a little bit more money per hour as I'm doing per day.
Right.
Which benefits me in the essence of like, being more worthy for that. And, I can perform the job in 2 days, believe me, I could, no one's gonna get, how can I say, they're not gonna miss opportunities. You bet.
Mhm.
Now, the only thing they'll miss is maybe an extra day where I won't be available for them. We'll just have to come back and make it up on the other day. That's just being available for them, but the job will get done 110% and beyond. So, yes, I could definitely work with that. That would
Okay.
make things easy.
Any other discussion?
Do we have the, I don't know who falls under, is this the judge? Not the judges, what does veteran services fall under? It's a gray area.
Yeah, I've been told that I really don't have a boss. By the boss who hired me, but at the same time, they're really, I am a county employee, I am not a state employee or any federal employee, that's, I don't have any per se that report anybody to, because nobody knows how to do my job except me or any knowledge of any, what it entails. So, we have a district DSO guy that I worked with, that when I first started the job, I conversed with him to learn the system, how to operate here. But he even told me, look, I'm not the boss. So when you get, 2 people, let's say, you're pretty much, but again, I don't need really a boss for me. I just understand that I need to get the job done. And from what I'm saying is, as long as the county, and I can probably tell to no veterans in this county at least have said anything negative, and they have all been, happy with the results I provided them. In fact, I get veterans coming from Baxter County because they don't want to deal with Charlie over there, and they want to get a different perspective. And this job is basic. I can be honest with you, this job is not something that somebody want to do more than 5 years, because it does have a lot of how can you say it's very redundant stuff. You get tired of it. You just have to understand it. But the point is, I do go to the judge for like taking time off or letting them stuff like that. I have to go to a VA conference next week in Little Law, but per se, I'm pretty much just letting them know we'll be out of the office, and that's all I kind of do. There's not really anybody I have to report to provide any type of information. just I give stats as I give the stats to the county, and I give stats to, the Arkansas State District. But that's all they request, it's just stats. They don't have, it's just a number game.
Okay, if we make a mistake, if this does pass and it's brought to our attention, are you willing for us to notify you and ask you to please come back and just us revisit?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
So do we have the authority to have his days done? Is my next question, or does that need to come through like personnel? That's why I asked too, like who oversees veteran services, like do we have?
Pretty much it, I would say.
I mean, this,
If he's willing to go down to 2 days a week at the same pay, I mean, it's gonna be more money and it's gonna save the county money, like I see that as a win-win.
Everybody wins.
Everyone wins with profit.
Well, since you're just budgeting the money, I don't know that unless it's in the budget and the numbers and comp is all the same, I mean, it's in the same ordinance, that it would be addressed in numbers and comp.
Okay.
I don't, and I'm sorry to interject.
No, please
No,
do, that's
please.
why I'm asking the question, because I don't wanna
So,
say he wants to cut
you know,
down
if he
salaries
agrees
and
to
it's not
that
okay.
here, I don't see why being in front of the personnel committee would make it any different, because they also vote on the budget, I mean, the
Right.
full court,
Right.
of course, so.
Is there certain days, like, is there 2 days that are busier that you would?
No, I mean,
You can make
the
that
way I work it is basically, I schedule, you know, obviously, my recommendation to veterans is, and I put it out there, is call me, make an appointment, and I will put you on the books and we can get you scheduled, and that's not good. Now, do I have walk-ins come in? Yes. There's some people that just, you know, just don't call or don't have, and they just walk in, but if they do and they have somebody there, they have to wait until I'm done, but, that's just the way I do it, and I think if I went down to CA's, you know, it just to make it more convenient for me, would be just, you know, just work your, Thursday and Friday, and be available to veterans all day during those 2 days. And then, you know, take off the rest of the week, and that would be fine with me too. I mean, I can do this job in 2 days, it doesn't take, unfortunately, and we don't have the number of veterans as other counties has. So we don't get the walk-ins as the number, so I'm able to really schedule the timeframes on them. But at the same time, there are times where I've had 6 to 8 people come in one day, you know, I just have to do it as a day process. But other days, I might have just 1 or 2, so it varies.
Any other discussion? All right, let's go ahead and can I get a motion to approve it? It's presented as far as the 2 days a week at the same salary.
I'll make a motion to approve of the,
I look at the other part,
sorry,
as supplies and other charges. We did go above the 0% there. So it's by about 1,200. It's not substantial, but it was an increase. You're gonna see this across the board, pretty much with every department. Our YOCOP billing did increase. So that's really where I see the increase at when I glance across it. And then fuel. Can't help prices of fuel. And he drives a gas hog. It's county vehicle, but it's a Yukon, so,
Well, not only that, but your general supplies,
that did jump.
that's part of doing business.
Just like we had to upgrade the office, it had all the new desks, you know, furniture, and just so because the chairs that these veterans were sitting, these are older guys, so we needed to get something comfortable they could sit in. A lot of the stuff was just kind of needed to, you know, but at this point, the office is done, you don't need anything upgraded, I would say, the next 5-7 years, and unless somebody comes in and decides they want to buy newer stuff, there's really no reason to purchase anything else in the office.
Okay, let's back up. Any other discussion?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is, so,
Motion to approve the way I presented it.
motion,
May I get a second?
second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next on the list, we have juvenile services.
I would like also to remind our health insurance. As of the 13th, we do have a new broker, but all these budgets for a 10% increase because we were not sure at the time what our insurance was looking like. We're gonna be getting numbers from our new broker in about 10 days. So all these budgets have a $660 increase per employee because that's what we were working with at the time. So everybody's health insurance is gonna be increased, it could not be helped. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have a lower rate and all these numbers will be going down before finalization. But no, none of these departments can help that health insurance increase, so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
Motion to review, juvenile services.
Motion,
May I get a second? Second. Discussion?
sorry.
She also has 3 funds. So the first one is 1,0415 that you'll have in your packet. And that one did increase by like 1.19%.
What line item was that number again?
It's fund 1,0415, so it should, under juvenile services, it should be the first, 3 pages. And at the top, you'll see the fund and department. So those first 2 right there should be that first fund. Right there.
Do you have anything you'd like to, educate us on?
Sure, I can talk you through it if you want me to.
Please.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Cheryl Gray. And so I have been a juvenile officer for Marion and Baxter County for 36 years and Marion County 34. And so during the course of the time, there have been changes in the state law and the juvenile justice system and so forth. And so Marion County has a full-time officer, and then we share 2 officers with Baxter County. And so the full-time officer is here Monday through Friday, and she comes to us, a 6-year military veteran, 4 years college degree, and then I think she was a year or 2 years with Marion County in the Veterans Office. And then she has been worked for me 2 years at Baxter, and now she's been with us a year over here in Marion. She came to us certified, which means that within 1 year from the date that we're hired, we have to be certified by the state. And so she comes through Marion County already certified, which state is money. And then the other 2 positions were part-time out of Baxter. And the part-time, I am 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursdays. And then when we have court on Wednesdays, it factors in. and then the other officers here on Wednesdays. And so, so with that, that's the, primary, personnel makeup of the office. And you're looking at three different budgets because, back in the day, the intake officer position was separate from the probation officer, which it remains that way today. But that's why you have three different budgets. And so 0415 is the intake officer's budget. And so the full-time person and the part-time person is factored in under that budget. And then the next budget you're gonna look at is the 0440, and that's the probation officer. And so she's factored in under that. And when we talked about a no increase, so because of the value of the employee, the full-time officer is, then I spoke with, what?
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, thank you. I just heard like apologize. So I spoke with Cheyenne about how I could factor in the 3%, and she said you'll have to take it out of other areas of your budget. And so, I was glad to do that, although I do want to do a clause here, that if you come back and you give other people 3% that they didn't take out of their other budget, then I want my 3%, right? But, moving on, is that I took the 3% out of, personal, professional services down there, and I, made sure that the salary package was loaded, that came out as well. And so the increase for the full-time position is a 3%, and the 3% included, I mean, the transfer from other monies in my budget, covered the taxes and retirement and so forth. So that covered that. I do want you to know that, for years, the state reimbursed the county, 20,000 I'm sorry, 15,000. And then they've come along and they've increased that so that, if someone is paid 30,000, you get reimbursed 15,000. And they've increased that from 40,000, and so now you get a return of 20,000. And so that's why, when I, make reference to reimbursement of the state, and I think I sent it to Cheyenne, I hope that you got it, so that it shows where, we received that back in July, because our fiscal year ends, the state, and so, they send that back to us. And so that's your money, that's your reimbursement each year for what you paid out last year. So you get that, that's just clockwork. And we have to submit a report at the end of the year, we have to have our CEUs, and we have to have, of course, certification renewed and so forth. That's all signed off by the juvenile judge, and then, also by, the state, for that reimbursement. The person that is full-time, we took that, 2 years ago, and I forgot who was on the budget committee at that time, but at one time we had overtime line item, and we took that overtime line, rolled it over into the full-time person, so that that's a salary position, because it is we do rotate on call, and we rotate out of Baxter County as well. And so, not everybody's on call every other week, yeah, but we can rotate among 6 of us. And, so there's a lot of on-call, call out in the evening, late hours, as well as preparation for court and so forth. So, as a juvenile officer, we work directly with the juvenile judge, and we review cases when it involves a juvenile under the age of 18. And so, as we work with youth and families, then we're working with all the school districts for behavior as well as attendance, and then also mental health issues. And so the issues that we deal with are broad, but pretty intense. The other thing that you are reimbursed for is that we have to use a certified juvenile detention center. You cannot lock a juvenile up in a local jail. Sight and sound are federal mandates. And so we have to transport our youth to detention, either in Benton County or Craighead County. We can go to any other county in the state that has one, but those two are closest, and they're the ones who accommodate us when we, if we get a juvenile in detention. Therefore, we have, transport drivers that will transport the juvenile to and from detention. The state has a travel reimbursement, so whenever we're transporting a juvenile to and from detention, the state reimburses us. And you'll notice in that, next to the last paragraph, the amount of money received for transporting to and from detention was $816. We have 3,000 pending, for reimbursement. When I call and check with them on that, they just had change of personnel, and so they're kind of behind in, kind of at a loss. But they assure me that everything will be paid. But that's the reimbursement is, that I wanted to bring to your attention, was for our stipends, and then also for our, transportation for detention. I'm glad to entertain questions.
What's included in other professional services?
Okay, so, in other budgets, in other counties that are bigger, so they may break that out so that the detention cost is a line item all itself. Transport drivers are all a line item by themselves. And then we also have, classes, like, if the judge orders a parenting class or drug and alcohol class and so forth, then that pays also for the instructor or for the person to facilitate that. And so other professional services is a catchment because of the location that we are and so forth, that we put in all other professional services, which does meet with the audit. We have entertained conversations with the auditor before. And so all the way back to Bill Clements, which you wouldn't know probably, but Bill Clements all the way up to the current auditor is we pass our audits very good. And so it all meets professional services definition.
Disorder conduct of budget.
I'm sorry.
It's the disorder conduct of budget. To catch all.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty much anything you hire outside of our county.
Contract services. 299.
Also, I will mention on the 1,004.15, we do have to, the county has to pay out, on Avers on both employees due to longevity on Miss Green. So, that is why you'll see that line item has increased. No fault on her own, and on this specific fund, although she is part-time, she's been with us for a gracious long time, that is amazing, but we do pay out on her. So we pay out on both employees on this fund. So that's why we'll see an increase in actually that we spent more than we budgeted for this year. It was caught, and hopefully fixed for 26. So that's why you see an increase on that.
So the retirement pension, is that?
Yes. 100.
The, 3031, the juvenile probation.
And 3031 is a special account, restricted funds. Those are categorical funds, restricted for direct services, for juvenile services. And so that is,
That's a special fund, but
yes.
Yeah, and she did increase it, which we encourage. Yes. But she is within revenue range on that as well. It is a special fund.
The money's
Yeah, the money's
sitting there.
Perfect.
That's it.
So basically all was 7.1%. For the last year or something.
That's because of the,
Right.
the insurance and the retirement, yes.
That only, and actually her, doing the math, her, accounts payable section, which is anything other than the 1,000, I should say, that decreased. The personal service, which has to factor in that papers, issue and checks and insurance, is the only thing that increased besides, Ms. Mason's, 3%. And then, of course, for automation, or not for automation, for special funds. that increased.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but with some of the reimbursements back in the state, we're gonna have some type of wash back, right?
Yeah,
With
and
the
then you
budget.
get reimbursed, this salary on, the
The $1,000 and then the juvenile transport reimbursement.
we got 31 and some change last year. So,
Any other discussion? Motion to approve as presented.
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, it's always a pleasure to present and, you know,
Yeah, thanks for explaining this as well.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, now we've got the difficult one. I mean, the one that's fun to work with, treasurer.
may I approach?
Yeah, she may.
Be cautious of you, too.
Sorry, I'm just back sometimes.
Oh, she will. Oh, and then I can grab my new sheet on 3,000. So my county general, it's overall budget is the same. I did basically the same thing that juvenile services did, I just, robbed from Peter in my non-personal services to be able to increase Amber's, pay 50 cents, basically 3%.
Tommy, do we need a motion to?
Oh, sorry.
Susan just got on a roll there. Travis was the one that pointed it out.
We did the other two.
We better probably continue down this.
Yeah. You're messing my notes.
Messing up his
I don't want to read.
Motion to review. May I get a second? May we continue the discussion?
May I approach?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. In county general, you get to the bottom line and I had 0 increase in my overall budget. One thing that I need clarification on, Dawn mentioned the overlap between personnel issues and budget issues. I want to make sure, that I'm doing this right in having Amber's title redone to Chief Deputy Treasurer. Back in 2023, when we came into office, she was our computer software expert and took on duties of training not only me, but helping with the judge's office, comptroller, HR. And she was able to run the office pretty much from the get-go. And that's the main thing that I need in a chief deputy, is to be able to run my office while I'm not there. So I'd like to see, subsequently in 2023, we went through the motions of getting her the pay raise and all the discussion about her duties and responsibilities being commensurate with a chief deputy. And then it was my oversight in the ordinance that I typed up. I didn't put as Reed's deputy and amend to read chief deputy. And then it was overlooked in 2 subsequent budget years as well. So, but the 50 cents an hour increase is, Amber is one whose hired date falls in December. So each year when we pass a budget for a certain pay, she's gonna be due, an annual review within days or weeks of passing the budget. So that's pretty much my whole justification. Bottom line is still the same.
May I interject something? I'm sorry.
Sure.
This is nothing against you guys.
No.
Okay, several years ago, we went through this chief deputy thing in the treasurer's office. And because there was no one that was being supervised by the chief deputy, we didn't have the title. Okay, in fact, a girl got dismissed because of that. And, well, because it was a big old mess, and this was several years ago. But, and it is my opinion that every office that does have a chief deputy has people that they are supervising. I'm not saying Amber can't do her job.
No, I think
She does a fine job, she's very helpful to me when I need it. But is she supervising Susie or?
She's trying to succeed sometimes.
Well, there is that, but
That's a
see
good
what
one.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take it away, but in the other offices, the chief deputy, and I'm going to be asking for the same thing, but she will have people to supervise in my absence. So I'm just throwing that out there because this was a big hullabaloo several years ago. A big hullabaloo.
So in order to have that chief deputy title.
That is historic.
Have to be supervising.
Supervising
Somebody
someone,
underneath.
because otherwise,
That's here in Marion County statewide, that's not.
well, I mean, like I said, that's historical in Marion County.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at the sheriff or the assessor, the collector, my office, et cetera, my office lost their chief deputy and we went going through a horrible time with the other things and it wasn't, and I had new employees, so I didn't have anybody that was qualified. I now have, but anyway, my point being is that historically, that's what it means in Marion County. Again, I'm not trying to
I
throw
don't
anybody
find
under
the
the bus,
fences,
but the title is the title, and that's,
I don't.
that's, I just want to throw that out. It's totally up to you guys, but that's totally, that's my opinion.
So the money
For what it's
worth.
When it was done 2 years ago.
And then
It's just a title change is all it is that needs to be presented to personnel.
so if you're not in office, you run the barrel.
Yes, I
No,
run.
there's only
I have all the same rights to the bank that she does. So if something was to ever happen to her, I could run that office, no problem. Like, I mean, my name and everything is signed on the bank. I can have signing rights for claims, all that kind of stuff.
what do you call it, the senator.
I'm not worried about the title change.
Getting back to budget,
Yeah,
any
as far as
other,
numbers.
yeah, any other discussion? Tom?
Starts out so much funner though.
You're
so important.
I just have one question, Susie. Other miscellaneous, you've spent about 1,200 this year, and you're only asking 500 next year. Is that be okay? Because, like.
1,000, right?
Yeah, like you stated before, because, and then you come back asking for money just to run office, when you ask for that increase in pay.
Oh, okay. Other miscellaneous, I actually added a line item.
Okay. To make up for that.
to make up for that.
Okay.
So
Alright.
I want to be able to look back and see the $500 that I left in other miscellaneous is strictly registration fees for the summer conference because I went without reimbursement.
Yeah, I just.
And I put my regular staffing, when I have to get somebody to watch the office when we're both at meetings.
Other professional services, I seen you added that one, okay,
Yes.
all right. Good deal, good deal.
Is the computer software support, 3102, is that, probably doing that?
Okay, so you're on my automation fund?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, computer software support, that 15,300 is kind of in the set amount for going to FI.
I mean, it hasn't changed, I'm just making sure that that's all built in with all your notes.
It
All
is,
those charts are all built in.
and the judge's office and I have gone back and forth and switched numbers around, so I just left that one alone. The 3003 computer services, that's where I took the big hit on Yelcott. The revised, you may be looking at the old printout. I brought a new one in, the black and white of how I'd actually like for this to be. So I got to looking at my revenues. 24,000 is reasonable revenue. I wanted to cut that back down a little bit, so that second version is down to 23,350. And this is one of those scenarios where I did put in meals and lodging and training. You've heard this in other offices that hopefully we won't have to spend. But in my justification letter, I did explain that if we do have to have training, something happens, somebody has to go for training, or FI has to come up here, it's $125 an hour plus expenses. But I needed to move something around to cover. I'm going to Yelcott Managed Services now. They just got me the quote. That's an extra $2,100 a year. And then I'm going to Microsoft 365, the government version, which is another $578. So I needed that extra $2,700 in the overall 3003 computer services.
Is this a special fund? Your
Yes,
automation fund?
yes. And if you look, I budget and I don't necessarily spend, but boy, with the new Yelcott Managed Services and whatnot, I'm gonna be spending.
I just kind of want to explain, so our commissions, we charge a 2% commission on everything that's coming in and a 0.25% on schools for what we handle with them. And then at the end of each year, we reimburse county general back 100%. Well, as long as our commissions allow it. And so far our budget, we're able
We've
to
always
reimburse.
had access to redistribute.
And then 10% of what we collect throughout the year goes into our automation fund. So, we can, I do it monthly, a 10% transfer monthly into that fund. And then the rest of our commissions goes out to everybody else. We just kind of prorate it back out. Just an explanation on that side.
Any other discussion? Motion to approve is presented.
Motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Try to keep my facial expressions under control.
I'm working in progress.
Oh, my.
It's hard in court. I hide behind people a lot.
Next we have is district court.
Before they get started, I do want to say they also have 3 funds. but, the only one that's getting increased is the county general one. Their automation, district court automation, and the law library is at a 0% increase. So the first one, is the one that we need to review. The other two are 0%.
And I'm not really sure why the law library fund is under us. I mean,
I manage it, I pay the bills.
Who is it under?
you're welcome.
Well-
I guess. But I mean,
Well, it's a group of attorneys that are over it. A lot of times, one of the attorneys is a district judge.
Oh.
And so it just falls under me. And so I get the books in and I pay the bills and keep up with the budget and. Yes. And get in touch with the attorneys that are on the law library board.
I'll make a motion to.
Are you reading or?
Yeah, I'm reading. Sorry, what?
I'll make the motion for the discussion.
Oh, yeah, I'll make a motion for the discussion, sorry. My mind's somewhere else, please, continue.
Motion in the second.
Motion second.
So are we okay now?
You can talk.
We're good.
Well, you can give us a minute to read through your list.
That's fine.
And then we can talk about this.
Okay. Go ahead, Judge, you go ahead. You can import all that.
Do you think you'll see an additional request in the general supplies?
No, sir. We will be moving to Yelcott also for our IT services, but I think we will be just fine.
Tina, how many devices are they going to be managing for you, just out of curiosity?
3.
Great.
But one is the laptop that, well, it's not,
Does
we're
that-
not really using the laptop anymore. There's really nothing but, old court software on there that we have to have for archives.
We have a laptop, we have to have a laptop in the courtroom. for
Yes.
interpreters.
Right, so they won't be managing that one, they'll be managing our laptop. So 3. One is a laptop.
I've got 5. So.
Do you need me to go through what district court does?
Please go, yes, please go ahead and educate us.
Okay. District court manages, your traffic tickets, your traffic and criminal. It's everything below felony. We process the tickets, work with state troopers, work with your local deputies. Judge Carney is, of course, our judge, and I am the chief clerk. I have a deputy clerk, and I'm over. We do civil and small claims cases as well. So if you get a ticket, you come and see us, or you come to court. We collect all the money from the tickets. We don't have a special fund. All of our money goes to the county, which then goes to the state, which goes to Game and Fish, goes back to the sheriff's office, goes to the DFNA, goes to the prosecutor's office, goes to public defender's office. We're responsible for making sure that each defendant has the right for a public defender and making sure that those forms get to the public defender. So we work with the public defender's office, we work with the sheriff's office, and a lot with the jail. We have a part-time probation officer that works for us and also for the cities, which is part of district court, but the cities have their own clerks who also coordinate with, that we coordinate with. Our department, our office, along with one of the other offices, flip and help the probation officer. So if we have a female probationer, then I'm the one that has to go in and give them a urine drug test. If we have to go and see an inmate at the jail for whatever reason, then I go to the jail and visit with the inmates. We handle the attorneys that come in for court. We average, 89 to 90 defendants a month. A court date, 70.
About 5 pages.
5 pages, which roughly is around 80, maybe 75, 80 defendants. And we have 2 court dates for criminal and misdemeanor court traffic. Twice a month, always on a Monday. And then we have civil court. We collect, like I said, we collect all the fine money. The sheriff's office doesn't help us anymore with that. We collect it all. They do collect money if they bond out from the jail, but we collect all the money, and turn all the money over to
We also would
Amber.
collect all the restitution if you thefts, batteries, car wrecks, if there was a sign hit or a power pole hit or fence taken down.
A mailbox taken out,
Yeah, we collect the restitution
and make it sure that the people who get the restitution money. We make deposits every day. Not an officer makes our deposits. We have to drive those deposits every day. And it's a lot of money every day. And we deal with not happy people.
What's included in the extra compensation line?
Birthdays, holidays. So county paid stuff.
We don't have an overtime. We take comp time if we have overtime. And we try to keep our comp time at a 0, and we try not to get overtime. I do have a clerk that's going to be going on maternity leave next year, so I'll be running the office by myself. I've done it for a couple of months by myself before we got her hired. Gets a little stressful, but I manage. I said it gets a little stressful, but I manage.
just breathe.
if our budget gets approved on the salary end of it, I don't expect to be put at the top. Every time that we have gotten a raise, it just shoves me right up at the top, every time. And this, we will not be shoving me right up to the top.
This
My
is,
deputy clerk is not at her top.
this is a $2 increase. I do just want that to be known, that is in the justification letter as well.
And that is over your 3%. Any other discussion? I don't have anything else to add. Other than that's a pretty steep increase. With us wanting to, ask everyone to stay at 3%. That's the only comment I have.
I would agree with that.
Well, 3% beats the coach in the eye.
That would change all the other numbers, right, Cheyenne, that you're
Yeah, so
putting
it
in
will,
for retirement.
it will
insurance,
lower the
all that a
FICA.
little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it will lower overall numbers.
Okay.
Don't think we're trying to be hard. It's just the unknown of how everything's.
I understand.
We appreciate and we understand what everybody in this room does, what everybody at the courthouse does, what everybody at the road department does. But we've got a lot of unknowns that we've got to consider. And, again, we're not one to be difficult.
So she manages the law library. Can you pay part of anything out?
No, ma'am.
Nothing. It's strictly books.
It's just for the law library.
Do we have special funds?
No, we have no special funds. Actually, we collect all the money for everybody's special funds, but we don't have any. I do have a special fund that I could have had. In 2015, there was writs of garnishment that we, for our civil side, we collect that money, but it goes right into county general.
I will say they put a lot of money in the county general.
We're the cash cow of county. I mean, it's true.
They put in a lot.
Yes. The sheriff's office used to have to collect money for us, but there was some difficulties, so we collected all.
Can we compromise to 3% based upon the unknown going forward in the next year?
Beats nothing. Are you okay with that, Judge?
Are you okay with that?
We can always revisit these.
Yeah,
numbers, too,
it's not like we can't revisit it, but I just don't, we're an overly cautious group.
And I understand that.
And we're not, like I said, we're not trying to be difficult or anything. We appreciate everything that everyone does. We're just a real, I won't say cautious group.
The personnel's working on the tiered
System. I don't know what else to call it.
Yes.
yes, and I
It's
understand
very
that.
possible.
I have our job
Yeah.
qualifications and job descriptions that we tried to present when Russo did his. And every year it gets shot down, and I understand where you're coming from.
This is also for number.
I understand that as well.
And Judge Carney wasn't here, because I said that's my goal as head of personnel, is to reevaluate that and do that pay scale, get that going for next.
I have been on that bandwagon for 3 years now.
So, once we, like Tommy had said, get some of these unknowns and get through the special election and see where we're at and where we're at financially, like that's my next project after we get this personnel manual updated. That this year's goal. We're almost there on that.
Okay, well, then I'll entertain a motion to amend the budget that is presented to a 3% increase on salary. Can I get a second?
For the chief.
Yeah, for the chief.
I'll make a motion. Did you need a second or a motion? I'm sorry.
Well, I'll make the motion again.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor? Aye. No opposed.
I have a question. Will we have to come back? No? Not even on the 28th?
Nope.
No.
I mean, if you want to come see my smiling face, I'd be more than happy to have you.
I
show
won't
up.
be here on the
I was
28th.
gonna say, you can come and wish me a happy birthday on the 28th.
I am out of the country on the 28th.
What about the 5/14/58?
Everything else, I think they're okay with, other than this.
Mhm. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
The salary is the
Yeah.
only thing you,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
all right, perfect.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Well,
I'll be in
Tina does
Scotland.
everything.
Can you,
You asked me.
will you
Where's she
FaceTime?
going?
Can you
I'm
FaceTime?
going to Scotland.
Oh, you'll love it. I went several years ago.
I leave on the 25th.
Well, have a great time and say thank you.
You look so good in green. I'm going back to my people.
I might not come back.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I think it'd be easier, Judge, to go this way.
I was just gonna kick here and.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Nice to see you, Judge.
All right.
My turn.
We left the fun from last one. All right. Need a motion to review. Yeah, motion to review the budget.
That's
Okay. May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed?
Thank you. May we please start with the election commission budget? And the reason I ask, this is our election commissioner chair. And Brian has been in training all day for the election in Batesville. And he probably wants to go home and get some rest.
Okay.
And if we could go through.
Yeah.
this.
Under, so, this is elected.
Under elections.
Under elections.
No, I like the tabs. I just was already under circuit.
So it's under circuit judge, circuit clerk, sorry. it's
Okay. I
And
was
then
in the next
election,
tab,
like a
county
sub.
circuit clerk, but I said under elections.
Okay, there is a substantial increase. But we have the potential of having 3 elections next year. 4 elections next year?
Yeah, 4 elections.
Oh, trust me.
Primary runoff, general runoff.
And perhaps a special. Just saying,
We always try to.
we always do that. Yeah, we have to budget for it. Now, granted, anything that we don't spend goes back in the county general, okay? We do get reimbursed for the primary, most of it. There's always the little question about, you bought 5 cases of paper, well, you only use 4.5, so we're only gonna give you that much money instead of for the whole 5 cases. It's minimal, okay? My thought process is here, is when we get the primary reimbursement, we put it back into that election reimbursement fund that we created. So that can be used for partly for the general election and for anything else that happens after that. I'm not gonna promise you this budget's gonna be enough. There's no way. I'll tell you right now, we have one issue on the ballot for the special election, and just for the programming, and it's not done yet, $10,000. So you take this into effect that every issue that
Sorry, You
I
weren't right in my face.
every issue that comes on that ballot, it costs us more money. Every candidate, it costs us more money. You're looking at $25,000-$30,000 in programming alone. That doesn't count paying the poll workers, paying the election commissioners, paying any of the other stuff that comes out. Printing costs, advertising costs. There is no way on God's green earth that we can say, this is gonna be definitive. So just be prepared that some more may have to come out, but we still have more in the election reimbursement. So we can use that, and we will use that up until we don't have any more.
But we've got some,
But we still have some money there. I took out some this last Wednesday so we could pay for the programming on the special election. I wasn't counting on the special election I was kind of counting on a special election. I just didn't realize how much the prices had gone up. And they don't tell us. You know, they don't call us and say, oh, well, now it's gonna be this much per race. They don't do that. So
They have you between a rock and a hard spot.
they really do, because we have to have the
You have to
election
have it, like that's.
and we have to pay for it. So, you know, that's just the way it is. And if you have any questions, direct them to Brian.
Yeah. Can I step in and just please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brian Sorensen. I know some of you. We've met a little bit. We've met way too much. We've met a few times. Never met. But you're my JP, so it doesn't matter. That means if I haven't had to bother you, that means you must be doing an all right job. So we are a little bit different. This is a little bit changed, and I'm going to paraphrase what's in the state code for the local book. It basically says we have to try our best to give you folks an estimate of what we think we're going to run into. We're a little unique in the fact that there's not one thing that I can do that's going to save $1 that is consequential. Literally everything that we do, and I and my other two commissioners, we basically, all we're to do is to conduct the election. Everything about that election is already defined in law, written down in the books, supervised and managed and maintained by the state and multiple other authorities. So the other things that are not predictable, who's going to win next year's Super Bowl?
I have no idea.
By how much? We have no idea, you know. So when I say how many people are going to run for JP2, or how many people are going to, even on a national scale, how many people are going to run for what? We have no idea. We won't know who files for our own county until first week of December, who's filing for the primary. Yeah, sorry. Until who's going for the primary. And even with then, we're gonna have a runoff. We have zero control over it. What we try to do is we try to aim high so that it doesn't hurt us all in the pocketbook come fall, and we have to squeeze money out of something. The good part is our department, we're not part of that use it, lose it thing. We don't use it, it goes right back, you know, and you can see by our history, we don't use much, you know. We had that flood last year, took us out, we're just recovering now, because we're kind of low on the totem pole, because we only do elections how often? So we finally have an office to work out, have no furniture, we have nothing in it, but we're getting there. We hardly touch any of the, but even recover from the flood, just because we're all taxpayers too. We try to keep the salary down, you know. So what I hope to see is, well, I'm going to be talking to you folks for years to come here, I hope. But at least you get the idea that the money that's on here is to prepare us for what we possibly think we can run into. We always hope it's less, you know.
Yeah.
But ultimately, everything from the amount of payroll we have is state dictated by law. We cannot go below 4 poll workers at a site, X amount of sites. Paper, just paper alone. We spent, what, $8,000, $10,000 just
Well,
for
that's-
paper?
Change your polling places.
Changing the polling places.
Notification.
This election.
Yeah.
And I've been through a lot of them. This one has been very special in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I
We
think,
just wanna send you out a bank on
I just swear my wife and I are gonna start a business, it's gonna be called, we call you back.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, we're not gonna do nothing for you, but when you call us, we're gonna call you back. Because just getting an answer is the polling site that's been open for the last 10 years, every election, is that gonna be available? Hello? I can't get answers. So, yeah, changing polling sites, last minute, oh, that building's gonna be closed for renovation the entire month, can't use it. What's that cost to run that in the newspapers, how many times?
It's 25 cents a word.
We have to do what, 3 notifications?
We only have to print it once, but we've had to change it twice.
Yeah.
And that's not on us.
That's
Condense
okay.
down that work.
Yeah,
That shortens, like, put it in Morse code.
so.
Well, I had a phone call today that was very angry with me because the polling place in Old Charles was not open.
It's never been open for vote in October. Ever.
Oh, they looked online and it was there that they were supposed to vote there today. Oh, we went online, it was 2024 or 2023, I don't know, it's probably the mayoral election.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that'd been about right.
Yeah, that would've been all
Yeah.
right.
But she saw it online, she wanted to vote, and she was not happy with me.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
You know, if you find a ballot, let me know,
Did you mail our mail-in ballot?
that's what I do.
So that's what we're gonna try to get through the election here, this one as cheap as possible. We reduced absolute full minimum to 4 people per station. Even the state recommends 6 to 7, because you need minimum coverage. So if anybody has an emergency or has to leave or get sick, we gotta jump through hoops to try to figure it out. But that's a lot of extra staff. If we got 2 from each location per day, that's gonna cut the salaries down a little bit, and we figure we'll try to keep this one as cheap as possible, because we weren't supposed to have anything going on this year.
And we reduced the amount of hours in Bull Shoals
Right.
to a week instead of the full 2 weeks, so that's gonna help. And I think we can do that we'll see what happens in the primary.
Yeah, we actually have a district, just so you know, so our county is an interesting county, but as for sometimes it can be difficult. We also have some really amazing parts of our county, people in our county. We have an entire district that negotiated their north of the Peel Ferry. They are part of our county, but they are waterlogged, so they are in a Proto, Missouri address. Those kind folks, we kind of jumped through hoops. We agreed to this years ago. We go there with 2 machines, and we open up just the day before voting, so they're technically an early voting location, but they only agree to that one day. It's 300 people. Lazy Acres, great folks.
Yes.
So they work with us to jump through hoops to save us some money too, because that would be another crazy amount of money for machines and staffing and all that stuff. My only problem is the ferry closes at 5 and I leave there at 5, so I usually end up having to beg people to keep the ferry for an extra half an hour for me, or else it's a 3-hour round trip. So yeah, with that being said, the number scares even me, and I do apologize for lying to you all. I told you all I'd be taking a salary this year. I've not taken a salary. Maybe next year. We'll see how it goes. But we all try to keep the dollar down low. Anything we pay, it's our taxes too. So.
So you just do this out of the goodness of your heart?
No, stupidity. Mental illness, maybe that.
Goodness of your heart sounds better.
It does.
Goodness
That's
of
my
the heart.
Tourette's, I'm sorry.
Said that out loud.
That's my outside voice.
Since we're on the record, we'll leave with
I'm
comments.
sure there's a lot of people that call me up to curse me out, are gonna watch this and laugh. I'm gonna be, the phone's gonna be ringing tomorrow, so.
Don't worry about it.
And I get my share. I get my share, yeah.
Leave a message and I'll call you back.
Yeah, call you back, Lick.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, good.
We're good.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
And if you have any questions, please just holler.
Thank you for having me.
I got it. And
Yeah, call you back,
He
yeah.
actually does answer his phone and call you back.
Oh, roughly per election, you're looking, these are roughly, this is not accounting questions, like she said, every word is 25 cents. Program fees are crazy. Per election, you're looking at, if I had to guess, a minimum would be about 37,000. That's just a rough guess.
Between what?
37,000 would be an absolute minimum, meaning your question is like 3 words, and it's 1 question for the whole district, and that's it. So that's a really, really rough guess. That's not paying for us, that's not paying for machine usage, programming, anything. That's just staff and locations get stuff back and forth. So people are always shocked by that, but just poll worker salaries alone is over 30, well over 30.
So they get $11.50 an hour. They work 8 to 6 Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturdays.
12 hours on.
And then, yeah, we pay them 12 hours on election day. And during the primary, we'll probably, depending on what happens on the primary, if everybody runs unopposed, hey, great. But if not, we may have to have more than 4 people in each polling place. Traditionally, we've had 6, especially at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
If you're running for office, can we be a poll worker?
You're about the only one who can, actually.
Really? I said it would probably be a conflict of interest. I said, I have a part-time job coming up when I retire. I can do that.
Well, your spouse can, as long as we post it, we have to post who our poll workers are, and the public has a.
No, if she's on the ballot, he cannot be a poll worker.
Who what?
If she's on the ballot, he cannot be a poll worker.
Oh, I thought it was only an objection.
Huh?
Only if somebody objects.
No, it's by law.
The law objects
I just thought they
apparently.
said by objection, but okay.
I promise you, if I was running and my boss was there, somebody would get.
Did they change
Changed
that?
it, who
Did
knows?
they change,
There ain't
since
no
you got
more
back?
I don't know, is that?
He's tired. It's been a long day.
It is fine.
This is that's a new point right now.
All right, back to the, can we get a motion to see if they're gonna pass this?
Be the first motion you asked for.
Zing.
So we need to bring the Nerf gun next time.
I'm missing out on all the good things I can't.
Probably a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just giving Tommy a hard time.
Oh, there's some other items on there, if you're gonna do line by line,
No,
there
we're
are
not doing
off
line
your
by line.
duties. You know,
No, we're not in that business.
give me a hug.
Or at least a fist bump.
Air high five.
There you go. I like that, everybody like staying on the line.
We're waiting on you, sir.
What do you want me to do now?
Make a motion.
Are you
to
a motion?
adopt.
We can make a motion. I didn't know if you were done reading. Usually you say, does anybody have any questions, and like call it, so. He's
Any further
tired.
discussion?
It's been a long week. It has been. I
It's
agree.
been a long week for me.
It's been a very long week.
No, please.
The 3 of us don't have any questions about anything.
The only other thing I'm gonna bring up is, the increase in salary. What did that equate out to
For
for
what?
the deputy clerk?
That's
Oh, no, no, we're
pretty.
still on elections, Tommy.
Oh, shoot, election, sorry, I'm in a different time zone.
Did you get in our time zone?
Yeah, motion to approve is presented. Second, all in favor?
I,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, now let's go back.
I'm gonna go get you some meat. I'm gonna start chewing on the steering wheel.
These are so small.
Little baby sandwich. I'm like, I'll take the key now. Get you there. This time will be in. That's tomorrow. Give me a shout. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Sorry, all, it's been a long day.
Yes, I know. That's in like, geez. So you're growly over here.
Right, which one do you want to look at?
We can start at front, well, I don't, okay, let's do,
I have, the first one listed is 1,001.02. That's the first one in the.
I'm sorry, say that again, Cheyenne.
It goes 1,001.02.
I have got 1,102, I have
That's the order that.
3,006, 102. Oh, sure, okay. Let's start with county general, county and circuit court, 1,102.
I was getting ready to ask for discussion.
We got you covered.
I'm waiting for discussion.
Okay,
We're still looking at it. You can go ahead and start presenting. Talk us
No,
through it.
please.
Well, I don't know what you want to know.
Everything.
It's been a long day, I'm tired and hungry.
You're making more than what you bargained to hear.
I will say, I did do raises. No, I said, I'll change that. I changed the top out. That does not mean I'm going to top everybody out, okay? In fact, I'm not going to top everybody out. But this gives next year's budget a place to start and where we could actually do zero changes in that position. That is my thought process, okay? Of course, I'm not going to be the clerk after next year. And I'm going to work very closely with whoever's going to be the clerk and go through this budget process. This is not an easy thing to jump into. But I will tell you that the very first time I did the budget, I cut almost $50,000 out of the county clerk's budget because my predecessor added it, like, I don't know where she came up with some of those numbers. And historically, in all the years that I've been doing this now, I have always given back money to the Marion County, to the county general. And during the pandemic, I gave a lot of money to county general because we were really suffering. But I will say, my bottom line is less than it was last year. I have cut things out, and the things that I cut, when I went back and looked, were line items that I had not used nearly what I thought I would use. And so I cut it down, just common sense, and that balances out my top out increases. And these numbers are so small, and so if I am wrong about this, but it looks like from 2025 to, in the request I'm making for 2026, I am putting back to the county general $4,611.07. Because I did, like I said, I cut down on things, and
What was the number you said?
461107.
Yes, that's what I got, which is approximately 5.5%. She's cutting 5%. I'm sorry.
That'd be like a -5%.
Yeah, negative 5%. And the increase is a $1 increase on that personal service line, for personal services, but overall, it is a decrease of 5.49%.
question on the postage.
As far as I remember, I'm sorry, these numbers on this paper are way too small. Postage.
The reason I'm asking this is I see where you dropped $3,900 in your request. Is that because you can do a lot more electronically?
That is part of it. Also, part of it is, my office is responsible for the postage machine. And every month, we get a printout and it tells us how much everybody has used. And we pay for it. The clerk's office pays for the money that goes onto the postage machine.
Okay,
Okay, so say we put $1,000 a month on that postage machine. When I find out that the assessor's office or the treasurer's office has spent $45,000 or $45, that's gonna go back into my fund, okay? When the jurors and witnesses come along, that kind of goes either back into jurors and witnesses, depending on if they have any postage. So I move that money around a lot, to different places. But mostly it comes back to my office. And then if jurors and witnesses, which is a very expensive postage increase sometimes, I will move some of the money out of my fund into that because they're paying for it. They pay for it. But
so essentially you're just making it wash by
yes,
doing movement?
but I think, what did I put in there?
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah, and I don't, the clerk's office itself doesn't use that much, except that we're responsible for putting money on the machine. So, and we try to put down about 1,000 every 6 weeks or so. And that way, because sometimes, sometimes the assessor's office, they have to send the collector's office no longer has, what do you call it? They send it out and other people pay the post, or we pay for it, but not out of my budget. But that's why that's different.
Gotcha,
It
okay.
just-
So essentially, if you, your next door neighbor runs $500 in postage.
It's coming back to me.
Well,
And then if she needs postage at some point, and I can put that back. It's just one of those things where
Gotcha,
it's just
okay.
very fluid. And it works for, Quorum Court, which needs almost nothing in postage anymore, thank goodness. Quorum Court, collector, assessor. Do you use my postage machine? Okay. Elections, jurors.
Child support.
Huh?
Child support. Child support.
Child support, well, that's $7 a year, I'm not.
Well, I think-
worried about it. But yeah, that's the difference there.
And I will say also on that line item, it's gonna look a little funky this year because we used to do all those, like she's talking about the reimbursements. It used to be like this for the road also. We used to do it by court order. We now do it by AJE, so it reads, which is a journal entry on my end. They submit it to me and I do the entry. So it reads a little smoother now, but we just started that about mid-year with the clerk's office. So that line item's still gonna read a little wonky. It'll be much clearer for 26 because of how we now input it.
Right.
So that is gonna look a tad off this year on like usage and stuff because of the entry.
Yeah, because you can see where it goes from 4,000 to, it was amended to 8,000, and that got moved around, so.
So it'll look a lot more accurate in 26 with the AJs that we do now.
Have we got any other questions?
You vote on this as a whole, right? Not just each one that's separate, like.
I would do separately.
Yeah, in case
if I-
you have things I need
Okay.
to amend.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay.
amend, I have to amend each budget, so I would do one by one.
Thank
Okay, so which one do y'all want me to make a motion on first?
How about the one we're working on?
Someone called me, county general.
Well, yes, county general, the county and circuit clerk, so 100102 is the one we've been discussing.
Right, people aren't here, so they can make sure.
Yes,
The
very
notes are right.
detailed minutes.
Hold your breath for that. I'm thinking about just scanning this.
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood. You are just requesting the payout, or the top out, but you're not going to immediately come right back around January 1st
Oh,
and top them
no,
out?
no, I am not. This is my new top out for 2026.
Okay.
Yeah, this is 2025 still, right? It's been a long day.
Do we need to run that through personnel committee since they're still working on the scale?
No,
I don't know why, you just gave perfect.
Oh, sorry, it's been a long day. Motion to approve is presented.
Motion.
May I get a second? Second. All in favor? Aye.
I oppose it.
Okay.
I got a majority, right?
You got 3.
3 of the 5, is that still majority?
2 votes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next, okay. Next up is jurors and witnesses. Somebody's gotta get-
Jurors and witness decreased. That decreased by 13%.
I thought I was hearing things.
So I worked with Russo on this, so if it's wrong, it's his fault. Hope you're watching, John. No, we went over it.
Is he expecting a lot more jury trials?
Yes.
Golly.
Yes, we are. And I'll explain that. As of January 1, Judge Bailey is going to be taking over Baxter, Marion County. He's sheriff. No, he's taking over Baxter County. No, don't think. Marion County jury trial, or criminal trials. But he's going to be here twice a month to do jury trials if Baxter County's not having a jury trial. We're splitting the time. So there's a potential of having two jury trial weeks every month. And please make it so. And I'll tell you why. In November 22nd, we have 172 jury trials scheduled. Guess how many we get to have?
In one day?
Well, they're all, right. We have the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, and that's if the judge gives up his office day. So we have 2 days to have a jury trial. Usually we have a full week. And last week, or 3 weeks ago, I don't know, we had 2 jury trials that week. And not cheap. I mean, it's not terribly expensive, but it's not cheap, and it's very time consuming, but we're expecting that. And then, of course, there's civil trials that could come up too, that we never know. I mean, they schedule them, and we haven't had a civil trial here in quite some time, maybe a couple of years. But that could change. You never know.
Yeah.
People get say, yes, we're gonna go to jury. So,
That's the only question I have. Motion to approve as presented.
Motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
thank you. Next up is,
Sorry. I had brain thought. Go ahead, please.
next up is the Reporters Fund, 3006-102. There is a change that I had gone over with. Why are people having a hard time with their name tonight? Cheyenne.
It's been a long day for everybody.
It has. I've gone over this with her before I presented her budget. I do want to change, the 1002 deputy clerk to the chief deputy. She will have 2 other deputies to supervise, and she is very good at what she does. She is cross-trained. You know, we're still working on the election stuff because everybody that has changed so much over the last, well, they've changed it a lot over the legislature, and we're still getting the rules of how to do this, so. But anyway, so I'd like to change her title to chief deputy. And everything, if there's other questions, please let me know. I
Can the
did,
entire office run in your absence?
Huh?
Can the entire office run in your absence?
yes, and they have very well, actually. I've been gone a lot. Different things going on. And yes, I raised the top out on these 2 deputies as well. And it also reflects my full salary, because when I asked for the $16.50 a couple of years back, and I finally got some of it, I told you that I would not put my full salary out of county general anymore. I would take it out until I retired. So and we got that lovely raise, and so that makes a big difference too.
So, you know, I just thought of something else. Have you filed you have, chief deputy and deputy job descriptions on file?
Because we all, well, yes, they've got mine on file, but it's all the same.
That's something I didn't mention, but I do have 2 different
Because,
job descriptions also.
chief deputy and the other deputy. Like I said, the only issue right now is learning the new software for the elections, and we're getting there.
Dawn, I want to, actually, I'm looking at current numbers in comp, and I'm looking at proposed, I want to say position 2 and position 3 are flip-flopped.
The chief deputy,
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I mean, the position 3 makes about 21 cents more. And
right now,
so here, let's look at mine's bigger.
can only,
Oh, she,
yeah, it
It's
was
correct.
supposed to be 2002.
well, she's making less. I need to flip flop these. Look at the current pay.
No,
Well,
this
we
is supposed to be, this is supposed to be 18. Oh, that's where that is.
Well, the current pay, well, this one's making.
Because I never maxed her out because that was Alexis.
Okay, so you
So she-
want.
Well, then it's 1850 and 16.
We need to swap these.
Okay.
So the positions, on the proposed salaries, they need to be swapped. That was an input error. The chief needs to be that last position. So when you look at the PCN, the
No,
one,
See, I'm not seeing, I'm confused.
Is it 1003 or 1002?
1,000,
Okay, does that not say 36?
Yeah,
Yes.
I input this proposed though, that needs to be swapped, because if you look at.
Oh,
the
I
current-
see, you wanna change this to down here, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. I get it.
Swap the two the two proposed, and the chief needs to be that last one. That was an input error, because if you look at the current rate, that third one makes more. That needs
So
to be.
1,003 is chief deputy.
Yes.
And that should be the 36 proposal.
So the proposed salary, the bottom two numbers, should
Swap.
comply.
Yes, please. That was an input error. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Good job catching it. I didn't.
Oh,
catch it.
thank you.
Well, she and I talked about this
We
morning.
did, we
And
did.
I was trying, you see this kind of tiny little print that I've got here going?
I couldn't even
That's
see
the
that.
I
PDF
can't
form.
either. I had to have people, well, my chief deputy had to help. I had a magnifying glass, couldn't tell whether it was an 8 or a 6 or, I'm old. Good thing I'm retired. Oh, and I will say that on this, in what Cheyenne was referencing earlier about the insurance, I'm not taking the county insurance anymore next year. I've got Medicare and I'm gonna go on supplements, it's cheaper for me anyway. But that will give that money back to the recorder's fund in case that was an issue.
We still unfortunately have to budget for it, but
Well, you.
it helps
budget for
if you don't take it.
Yeah, budget for it in case something happens and,
Heavens forbid.
um, but yeah, I can take the supplements.
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
My only concern again is, I know this is a special fund, but we're looking at changing the pay scale next year. So I think this is a large increase now. I know you're not paying them out that top up, but then on top of if we do another raise again next year.
Well, let me put it this way. I mean, just a more question of for my satisfaction. When you say next year, are you waiting until you do the tier thing?
Yes.
And then, so what you're saying is that if I get this, my office is not going to be eligible for any change that there might be? Is that?
No, they
Okay.
would be eligible for a change. So on top of this, like, just, if everybody had a special funding to do this, I think everybody deserves a raise, but not everybody has a special fund to
I
do
get
this.
that, but I would like to go back to saying that I have been asking to have all three of them not maxed out, topped off at $1,650 for 2 years. And both times I got told, wait till budget time, wait till budget time. And I did. And then, not this year, not just for 2025, but was it? Anyway, my point being is that I presented it, they said, I said, please consider it, let me know if you want me to come back. I was told by 3 other people that please come back, and then I went back in front of them, I sat there in this spot right here, and they were getting ready to adjourn, and I finally said, excuse me, you asked me to be here, and they denied it. They denied asking me to be there, and I heard it from 3 separate people who I trusted their position and what they told me. And then I came back in front of you guys earlier this year, and I was asked, wait, let's see what happens. And I did. This is budget time.
Mhm.
And I feel like if I don't do it now, and I have reduced what I need to reduce, in fact, well, I'm only saving you $464.50 in the recorder's fund. But my recorder's fund brings in approximately $200,000 a year. And I still have, I think I'm still at about $300,000 in there for this year. And it's kind of a fluid thing that we have to see what happens, because the money that comes in on the recorder's fund is from mortgages and deeds and things like that. We've had an influx lately. I don't know if you don't do that type of thing much anymore, but you might know. I mean, we've had stacks come in. And, you know, we have 13 a day e-recordings, which is good. And, while I'm talking about that, by the way, thank you very much for my travel money. I gave you back $7,500 because my budget my recording thing, it's all paid for. It came in under budget, so I put it back.
Excellent.
And we started back indexing. So those books are going to be on the computer. It's gonna take a while. Give me a year, maybe more. But anyway, my point being is that money's gonna be there. Somebody's always gonna be buying a house. And Marion County has been growing.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I said, oh, yeah, we've had a lot of building permits.
Yeah, building permits and things like that. So this fund,
Well,
I feel it's steady.
I don't think it's whether you get it or not. What she's trying to say is,
The
we give you a
amount.
$2 raise, I'm just throwing a number out there, $2 per hour right now. That's on top of, I don't say $21 an hour, and then when that goes in effect, you're on top of the thing goes, so that'll go up again.
Well,
in 6
but
months.
that doesn't mean I have to top them out.
Right.
Okay, you
I understand. That's
have
what she's
people,
coming.
Yeah.
you have clerical people in this county that are topped out at $23 an hour.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah,
arguing with
that
it. I'm
have
just
been-
saying that's what the discussion.
Well-
I'm not comfortable with setting a precedence of going to what appears that we're gonna be given more than 3%.
Okay, these are the two I was trying to get $16.50 for the last 2 years. Okay,
That was them, that wasn't us.
I know,
That's
I
prior.
know, but here's my point. I have a chief deputy that needs to be made, have a little more compensation than what she's making. She is currently making $15.71 an hour. Okay? The other girl in this, out of this fund is being paid $14.68 an hour. My top off on that, well, no, not, it used to be, but then when we did the 3%, we froze them at what they were already making. So I couldn't, and then I couldn't get the $16.50 to raise it up. So that's where I'm at with this. And I will not give one person a raise out of county general if I can't give anybody else a raise if I feel like they deserve it. Because like I said, I've been fighting on these two girls out of special fund for 2 years.
I will say that all the chief deputies in the courthouse, I think, are making up around $16.50.
So, no, no.
Chief deputy collectors at 17.
I think the assessors is at $16.50. Is it? Oh,
Hold on, and I looked throughout, chief deputy assessor is making 17. Deputy treasurer is 17.25. And that's the courthouse. The district clerk secretary is 16.75. So she's a little under everybody else.
Like I said, I'm not maxing people out. I am making this so that next year, when whatever happens, hopefully something, but we can say, okay, 0 increase, and I'm gonna say, here's my budget, same as last year, let's go.
So can we do that if we end up changing if we end up getting that pay grade scale done next year? And we say, these are what the raises are that everyone's going to get, can we exclude an office and say she's not going to get that money?
I mean, I wouldn't,
I wouldn't think so, but please take me on my word that, okay, say at $16.50 an hour, which I'm asking for one of them, and you say, okay, what they're really gonna get, and are you basing this on like longevity and
Yeah,
Okay,
experience,
experience,
longevity, all
okay.
that's gonna all
So
into
at
effect.
$16.50 an hour, if you say she's gonna get, she's not making that, but if that's what I've already topped, that's my top out.
Mhm.
And if you say, okay, we're gonna give whoever's making this amount of money with this much longevity, $1 an hour raise, and this is just out of the
You're
top of my
starting,
head,
yeah.
okay? That doesn't mean I have to do that, because it's up to me to decide if she has, if she has
If she's earned that raise.
earn that raise, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do now. And please, just take me at my word, I have never lied to the Quorum Court about what I'm gonna do with salaries, or with my budget for that matter. And I follow the rules, I am one of those people that,
I don't like the way it looks because it's on paper. And I'm not questioning your credibility.
well, I understand that, Tommy, but my point is, if it's not on paper, it doesn't get put in the budget.
So the one
And
is,
I don't know, I mean,
You have to remember that that was a prior administration, that wasn't us, so
I understand.
don't be frustrated with us.
Well, I am a little bit right now, because it sounds like you don't want to do what I want you to do. And I get it. Okay. So,
The recommendation's 3%.
but I have to go with our VSO officer. That 3% isn't much when you're making 1571. What would it be? She's making 1571.
Let me do the calculations. I know the one is only $1 increase, but then the other one is a jump of $2.79.
To what?
It's a $2.79 increase, so it is a bigger jump than the other ones, but let me see what a 3% is. Hold on, bear with me.
But if I do the 3%, I can't promise you I'm not gonna max them out.
What about bringing our chief deputy up to be matched?
So
That's what I'm
at
trying to- well, no.
1618 out of 3% on the chief deputy,
Wait a minute, 3% on the chief would be what?
1618.
And on the other?
I didn't do that one, hold on. But also keep in mind, you did put through the 1750 on a deputy clerk on the previous fund through county general.
That, yes, that was in my, on my
County general.
county general side.
Which is 1750, which would be more than the chief deputy is maxed at.
Well, I don't have to max her out.
Well, I'm just saying, even, I mean, at max, a deputy making more than a chief potentially, 1597 at 3% on your deputy, other deputy. At 3%. But I would, if you're going with 3% on these two guys, or ladies, I'm sorry, positions.
Give me the 3% on the one in the county general.
Okay, hold on.
I know you already passed it, but is it all right if I try to amend it if that's what I need to do? I mean, you haven't even voted on this, but I will,
I would just like to see a 3% right now until we can see where we're at, and then we are.
3% in both funds?
For both, yes, for both of them. That's why I voted no on the first one.
Okay, well, I'm glad to know why. That helps.
It has nothing to do, I don't even know who's in these positions.
I know, no, that's not,
$1 is a lot, like, you know, we're doing 3% for district court. It's a long day, that's
3%,
the motto. Yeah, I'm like, I drew a blank on her.
So Don, so we're all on the same page. Are you wanting to represent the prior as a motion to amend?
hang on. I'm getting the figures. Let me,
Okay.
Okay, 1650, at
see,
at 1650 at a 3%, is 17. So again, that deputy over in county general will be making more than that.
well, no, she won't, because she's not making
And she's not maxed
1650.
out or
And she's
topped out.
not, no, not at all.
Okay, well then, fair enough. Okay.
Okay, to quote Tina, it's better than nothing. I would, present that this would be 3% in the county general, please. And 3% in the recorder's fund, please. And then, when do you think this tier,
I would like to start working on this in May. So, because I know it's gonna take a couple of months to probably get it going, so we'll have a better idea. Hopefully in June is the plan. So by July.
Okay.
That's my hope.
okay, goals are important, I get it.
We're not like numbers right till April on the sales tax, correct? That was-
Yeah, that's the next thing like that. There's a lot of variables we're waiting for right now.
And I would like to say something, and this is kind of cruel, and I don't mean it to be that way, but you brought it up earlier that there's a lot of variables resting on this election. Seems like to me, some of us that don't work at the sheriff's department are getting hindered by whatever happens in this election.
Well, it's just gonna free up a lot more money
It
for
will,
the
if it
general if it
passes.
passes.
So,
Justice, let's stay on track.
yes,
Excuse me.
absolutely, I'm sorry,
What?
I'm,
Let's stay on track.
okay.
Okay. Are we done?
With
I
the
just wanna
amended
make-
one.
Sorry, I just wanna make sure I'm tracking 3% on both county general and recorder's fund. Are we good with the chief deputy title as well on that 1003 position? As
We
well
haven't
as,
even voted on that one yet. We went back to the amended one on that.
Yeah, we went back to the amended one.
Sorry,
okay, what fund are we on?
we're on the recorder's fund. We're back
Okay.
to the- We haven't finished that one yet. She just wanted to amend the previous.
Okay, so county general is 3% on that one position. And we're done with county general.
Yes, ma'am.
We're back on
We're
recorders,
back on the recorder fund.
and that's what we're discussing, okay. Oh, you might wanna vote on that amended change.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we could go ahead and get a motion to approve the current that we are, working on. And then I wanna go back and get a motion to amend your other one.
No problem.
Okay, motion to approve as amended, yeah, or I will say amended on this one for the,
The recorder.
yeah, for the recorders, yeah.
1,000.
Okay, may I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let's go back to county, gift,
No, recorder's fund.
or excuse me, recorder's fund.
I thought that's one we were just on.
I'm starting to get confused.
Now
When
we're going back to.
Yeah, we're going back to-
You guys need to approve
The recorder's fund.
Yeah.
No.
No, we're doing
No,
it.
they haven't approved it yet.
No, okay, we just approved the
We
amended
amended county general,
to the
now you're going
3%.
to,
3%.
and this will be amended to the 3% as well in the recorder's fund.
Time out. What Tommy said just a minute ago was,
Was the
I'd like
recorder's
to
fund.
approve what we're working on
On right
now.
Yeah, and now
Then
we're
we'll
going
go back to
Yes,
county.
Yeah,
general.
now-
That's what I
now we're
thought.
back to
That's
county.
what I heard, yes. So you just voted to approve it. The recorder's
Recorder's
fund.
fund. Amended recorder's.
So,
There's a
okay,
couple of them really upset.
we're almost through this, guys.
All right,
Okay, so the
Yeah.
amended
You are.
recorder's fund is the 3% with the chief deputy.
With the chief, yeah,
Chief
3%
deputy at 3% is
Mhm.
responsible.
in title change.
Mhm.
On the recorders.
Yes, that's what
Okay,
On the
just
recorder's fund.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to county general.
yeah, now we're going back to county
Okay.
general,
Did we pass this one?
yes,
Recorder's fund, okay,
At 3%.
yeah, 3%.
I got it.
Okay,
Okay.
now,
I made the motion. I made the motion to approve the recorder's fund, the amended 3% with the title change, and Leslie seconded it. Correct.
That's who was gonna get credit for it anyway.
Okay.
okay, now we are on county general, correct?
Yes,
I need a motion to amend to 3% May I get a second? Do we have any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. No opposed.
Okay. Phew.
Okay. Wow.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and ask for a motion to adjourn.
No, we have
No,
one more.
we're
You got
all,
one more?
last one, okay.
I'm starting to get hungry.
No, child support fees did not take an increase.
Actually, we're going to decrease that to $200.
Fantastic.
Because
That's beautiful.
it usually, I don't know why I put 300, it may have been a slip of the fingers. I spent, you can see I spent a whopping $7.30. So that's,
Dawn, do we still have to keep that fund?
yes,
Isn't that a mandate?
yes, I have to keep it. We make about, let's see, 36 times 8 is what? That's how much we put in there approximately. Okay, so,
Quorum Court did not increase. It decreased.
yeah.
Oh, we do Quorum Court too.
Yeah, it
Quorum Court
decreased.
did increase.
We need to vote on
I don't think you
child
did.
services.
Overall,
Okay, wait, can we vote on the child support?
well, if it's a 0% increase, it doesn't.
We don't
come
need to,
front of the
no, we
budget
don't need
committee.
to, if it's not increasing.
Oh, that's right,
Zero, yeah.
okay.
And Quorum Court increased by $88.94, even though some line items changed, I believe. slightly.
Well, they had that salary increase,
Well, that was passed this year.
yes, but it didn't reflect in my printout.
Oh, no, okay, actually, no, I did the math on that, and if anything, it decreased by $1.64. There was, it was partially, one payroll got taken out of the full-time line item, but when you
Oh,
add that.
that was an error on,
Yes.
is that got
So
fixed?
it,
Yeah.
it actually decreased by $1.64, then overall it decreased by $88.94, therefore it did not increase. It doesn't need to be discussed.
Okay,
Okay.
None of circuit is increasing, if anything, they are decreasing. So none of those need to be, and discussed, actually, I think we're done because we discussed elections already.
We did discuss elections already.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Thank you for your patience and your diligence, because I know this is arduous.